The setting was historic. Christine Blasey Ford's testimony, at times harrowing.
I am here today not because I want to be. I am terrified. I am here because I believe it is my civic duty to tell you what happened to me while Brett Kavanaugh and I were in high school.
For the first time, Ford speaking publicly about an alleged assault more than 30 years ago that she says took place during a teenage gathering in suburban D.C. She says Brett Kavanaugh and his friend Mark Judge were there.
Brett and Mark came into the bedroom and locked the door behind them. There was music playing in the bedroom. It was turned up louder by either Brett or Mark once we were in the room. I was pushed onto the bed, and Brett got on top of me. He began running his hands over my body and grinding into me. I yelled, hoping that someone downstairs might hear me, and I tried to get away from him, but his weight was heavy. Brett groped me and tried to take off my clothes. He had a hard time because he was very inebriated, and because I was wearing a one-piece bathing suit underneath my clothing. I believed he was going to rape me. I tried to yell for help. When I did, Brett put his hand over my mouth to stop me from yelling. This is what terrified me the most and has had the most lasting impact on my life. It was hard for me to breathe, and I thought that Brett was accidentally going to kill me.
Ford remembers looking over at Judge.
Mark seemed ambivalent, at times urging Brett on, and at times telling him to stop. A couple of times I made eye contact with Mark and thought he might try to help me, but he did not. During this assault, Mark came over and jumped on the bed twice while Brett was on top of me. And the last time that he did this, we toppled over and Brett was no longer on top of me.
The psychology professor asked about her strongest memory from that night.
Indelible in the hippocampus is the laughter, the uproarious laughter between the two, and they're having fun at my expense.
With what degree of certainty do you believe Brett Kavanaugh assaulted you?
100%.
Then it was Kavanaugh's turn, entering the room after Ford had left, offering a forceful denial, his voice choking with anger.
My family and my name have been totally and permanently destroyed. I was not at the party described by Dr. Ford. This confirmation process has become a national disgrace. The Constitution gives the Senate an important role in the confirmation process, but you have replaced advice and consent with search and destroy. Since my nomination in July, there's been a frenzy on the left to come up with something, anything, to block my confirmation.
Kavanaugh on multiple occasions fighting back tears, proclaiming his innocence.
I'm not questioning that Dr. Ford may have been sexually assaulted by some person in some place at some time. But I have never done this to her or to anyone. That's not who I am. It is not who I was. I am innocent of this charge. I intend no ill will to Dr. Ford and her family. The other night, Ashley and my daughter Liza said their prayers, and little Liza, all of 10 years old, said to Ashley, we should pray for the woman. It's a lot of wisdom from a 10-year-old.
The judge specifically disputing Ford's charges.
Dr. Ford's allegation is not merely uncorroborated. It is refuted by the very people she says were there, including by a longtime friend of hers. Refuted. She says confidently that she had one beer at the party, but she does not say how she got to the house in question, or how she got home, or whose house it was.
And talking about his own drinking.
I drank beer with my friends. Almost everyone did. Sometimes I had too many beers. Sometimes others did. I liked beer. I still like beer. But I did not drink beer to the point of blacking out, and I never sexually assaulted anyone.
Ms. Mitchell, you have my 5 minutes to ask questions.
The 11 Republican senators, all of them men, turning over their questioning of Ford to veteran sex crimes prosecutor Rachel Mitchell.
We haven't met. My name is Rachel Mitchell.
Nice to meet you.
The format with Mitchell given 5-minute chunks, at times awkward. Democrats pressing Kavanaugh if he wants an FBI investigation.
Personally, do you think that's the best thing for us to do? You want to answer?
You know, look, Senator, I've said I wanted a hearing, and I've said I was welcome anything. I'm innocent.
The most heated moment coming from Republican Lindsey Graham, delivering a fiery attack on his Democratic colleagues.
When you see Sotomayor and Kagan, tell them that Lindsey said hello, because I voted for them. I would never do to them what you've done to this guy. This is the most unethical sham since I've been in politics.
At one point, Ford recalled running into Mark Judge at a Safeway weeks after the alleged incident.
I said hello to him, and his face was white and very uncomfortable saying hello back. I wouldn't characterize him as not friendly. He was just nervous and not really wanting to speak with me. And he looked a little bit ill.
Judge vehemently denies Ford's allegations. But in the end, the hearings focus two people facing what's perhaps the defining moment of their lives. Ford,
I anticipate needing some caffeine if that is available.
clearly nervous, thrust into the national spotlight.
I have been accused of acting out of partisan political motives. Those who say that do not know me. I am an independent person and I am no one's pawn.
And Kavanaugh, whose parents and wife came to see him defend his reputation.
You may defeat me in the final vote, but you'll never get me to quit. Never.
Whatever the Senate decides to do about Brett Kavanaugh's nomination, today was another pivotal moment in American politics, deeply personal and emotional, punctuating an already divisive era.
Hey, NBC News fans, thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Subscribe by clicking on that button down here and click on any of the videos over here to watch the latest interviews, show highlights, and digital exclusives. Thanks for watching.